Hey, good evening, YouTubers. It's John back again. I'm enjoying a nice home brew. I have a bunch of stout left over. Went on a big dark beer brewing spree because of wintertime, and now it's March 25th, I believe it is. And spring is sprung, and I'm just trying to kick these kegs. I got a chocolate milk stout. I got a imperial stout that I'm sipping on. Couple oat porters that have been fermented in lager yeast that are just in the kegs. So, time to switch it up a little bit. Today we're going to be doing a little wheat beer. Need something a little lighter, a little bit full of flavor. And we're going to be doing a hefeweizen that I'm going to put grapefruit zest in the secondary. But today I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to, I didn't want to do a full brew day, but it kind of feels like I'm doing that as I'm going through this. I'm doing a mini mash, partial extract. It's not extract with specialty grains. I literally did a whole mash of 2 pounds of malt wheat, 2 pounds of Belgian Pilsner, and 1 pound of Munich. And I did that in a 3-gallon stock pot. Let it sit about 154, 155 for 30 minutes, a little mini mash. I then scooped it all out with a strainer, put it into another vessel, like a pasta colander, instead of a very large bowl. Let that sit. Then I add that grain back into this 3-gallon stock pot, and then poured a gallon of 170-degree sparge water over top. So technically, it's almost like it's not a batch sparge, it's a fly sparge mini mash. Then I'm going to then add 4 pounds of plain wheat, 55-45 wheat to barley, and 60-minute boil. Gonna add 2 ounces of German Hallertau, 3.8 alpha acid. Did the calculation in Brewer's Friend. 1 1/3 ounces at the 60 minutes will give me about 18 to 19 IBU, and then the other 3/4 or 2/3 of an ounce at 5 minutes to give me a little bit of a nice noble spicy hop aroma. I went with a WLP 380. This is a Hefeweizen ale strain that gives off more clove than banana. And the reason why I picked this, I love the banana bubblegum in a Hefeweizen, especially an American Hefeweizen, where I use like Cascade instead of the Noble hops. But I went with this because of the fact that I want a maltier backbone with the Munich, and I also want to have a little supporting flavor to balance the hop and grapefruit zest that I'm going to be putting into secondary. So right now, let me show you guys. I have just about 2 gallons of the mini mash wort. I'm going to be adding the 4 pounds of dry malt extract, and I added to room temperature wort, because if you add this DMS, dry malt extract, DME, sorry, to a boiling pot, I end up with a clumped bag full of, and I'm missing half the stuff, and I have to dip the bag into hot liquid and shake it out. I don't want to be burned. So I'm going to add it right to the cool wort, with nice big balloon whisk, and hopefully have no clumps. And then I'm gonna pour it into my kegel over here and get it up to a boil. I'll come back when that's ready and at a boil. All right, guys. All right, hey guys, I'm back. Added all the dry malt extract into my stock pot. Whisked it all up really well. Came out awesome. No clumps, no anything. Added it into the kegel and then topped it off with new water up to, you can see there's a little bit of foam in there, but it was 6.5 gallons. And now I am drawing off the bottom through a pump and then putting it back in through my whirlpool, because I need to suck off the bottom to apply more to the top, because my element is only, you know, that far down. It's right in the middle, but it needs to heat up evenly. Currently I have it set for manual, and it is around 88 degrees at 100% duty cycle. Took a gravity reading. I don't know if I can get in there to show you guys pretty well. Not really. 1042 pre-gravity. This beer is supposed to come in and be around a 1048 to 1050. Should finish at around a 1012. So I should give about a 5% beer. I'll check back in when we're up to a boil. All right. Okay, so first hop addition going in. We're at a nice rolling boil. 1 ounce of Hallertau, well, 1 1/3 of an ounce of Hallertau. Going in. I'm giving it the old calibrated eyeball method. Really didn't have that much of a hot break either. And we'll get this pinned up. Okay, so my output is around 64 degrees coming out of the therminator. I'm going to put it into my sanitized bucket. I shut off my valves. Collect any drippings. I don't like cleaning up sticky wort. And then we're going to turn back on our pump. And we got some wort flowing. Right now we're sitting just at around 59 degrees. We're going to throttle it up a little bit. And that's going to bring our temperature up to 60. Now about 61, 62. My 5.5 gallons, I topped it up, and we have a reading of 1050, 1049, 1050. Looks to be a nice amber, maybe a light, like a dark straw, light amber. And I'm going to pitch my newly sanitized WLP 380 and with my sanitized scissors. I am now recirculating PBW through the brew kettle and heating that up to about 120 degrees. And I'm going to shut it off now. Right now everything's off. And it's just going to sit there and recirculate for the next 15-20 minutes at about 120 degrees. I'm going to pitch this yeast. I'm going to put it in, right now this area is around 64 to 65 degrees. That should bring the temperature of the fermenting wort up to almost 68, 70 degrees, right where I want it. It should be done in about 5 to 7 days, but I will check it at around 7-day mark, see if it is at its terminal gravity. I'm shooting for like a 10-10 to a 10-12. Once it's there, I'm going to rack it to secondary, and I'm going to add 3 whole grapefruits that I zested. I peeled the outside layer off, put the zest into, just covered it with just enough vodka to sanitize it, and those are going to be sitting from tonight, or to actually probably, it's like 10 o'clock already. I'm going to have them sitting tomorrow morning until the time when I need to add it into the secondary. Then it's going to sit for about another week, 7 days, and then I will keg it and see how it tastes. Hopefully, looking for the check up on me for the tasting of this grapefruit American hefeweizen. But everything went well. Everything went well. The only thing that really happened was kind of overshot my mini mash temperature. I was doing it in a 3-gallon brew pot, pasta pot, and it set around 155. I was supposed to shoot for about 152, but hopefully that should give me a nice mouthfeel for this beer, and a residual sweetness from the Munich malt. That the grapefruit, when you get that astringent, acid, bitter taste, especially with the more hops that I added an extra ounce of hops to this whole recipe, I hopefully believe that it should balance out pretty well. Okay? So if you guys have any questions, please post below, or shoot me a line, jstepicura@gmail.com, and looking forward to seeing how this turns out. Look for a follow-up video, and have a good one, guys. Thanks.